Do you want to produce maps in 7 Days to Die that are mega cities as far as the eye can see? Are you fed up with going to websites and YouTube videos that tell you all about them but don't actually give them to you? Well, you're in the right place here today. I'm going to show you how you make them, and then I'm going to give you the maps and the mods. Let's do it! We're going to conduct a series of tests today. To start with, we'll just make sure that we can use the advanced generation system in 7 Days to Die correctly and get repeated results. We're then going to use a little modelet that will improve the random world generated tile system and give us slightly bigger cities, which is great. Then we're going to use the modelet that I have adapted in order to make crazy amounts of cities and then an insanely large set of cities. And remember, everything that I'm showing you here today, you have the choice to actually download and play these maps and use the modelets and generate some fantastic maps yourself. So test one of our little project today is to generate a standard world in 7 Days to Die with the advanced generator and see what we get, so we can compare it with everything in the future. And if you type in physics, then of course you're going to get not just any old mountains, you're going to get Shekshimo mountains. I'm kind of thinking mountains and hills, well, they get in the way of making actual towns and cities, so we're going to get rid of all of them. We'll keep snow, desert and wasteland at 21%, and we'll have more pine forest, that little starting area. And then what else is going to get in the way? Well, lakes are going to get in the way, cracks are going to get in the way, craters also, and rivers. And the rivers are still very bad in 7 Days. That weird kind of W or M shape that we always get is very, very, very annoying. We'll leave the wilderness POIs in there, or will it force them? No, let's get rid of them as well. Let's just stick with the basics, cut the variables, do the science properly, hit generate world, and we're going to get our first level of Shekshimo mountains, and we'll see what the game produces. So it took me 2 minutes and 42 seconds to generate this map. We've got our Shekshimo mountains with no mountains in there whatsoever, and this is the default layout in 7 Days to Die. I think there was 13 towns and cities produced. And we can see there's probably 2, 3, there's some blue bits there. So there's kind of like maybe 5 cities. They're not very big. And we've got these little, puny little things. You're going to be traveling for ages and seeing nothing. What's going to happen now if we mess with all this stuff here? Okay, so I'm just going to like mess with this kind of these bars and all this lot. I'm going to exit the game. I'm going to save this map, of course, and then I'm going to regenerate it with the same settings, and we'll see if it comes out exactly the same. So test 2 is, of course, to reconstruct what we did. Everything's the same. It's an absolute nightmare to try and get the same settings that you had before. I had 21% on everything except for Pine Forest, which was 37%, and if I click on this, look at this, 2136. Like, what's that all about? Like, it's just not gonna. Oh my god, the amount of messing around I had to get exactly the same settings. And this is why I did it, because I think that my prediction is that we're probably going to get something completely different when we generate this world. Everything is exactly the same as before. We'll just wait and see what turns out and compare it to the one that we got previously. So here are the results of test 2, and it's looking very, very similar, if not exactly the same as before, which is nice because I've had this before and I think I've just messed around with the settings slightly and it's turned out differently when I've regenerated a map, which has been really annoying. But this looks identical. I'll just splash up the original one that we did on the left hand side of the screen here using a bit of video editing magic, and we can see exactly the same thing. So you can share a world seed like you would in something like Minecraft with a friend. The problem is going to be messing around with these bars to kind of make sure that they say exactly the same thing as your friend might get. And you can see here I have 21, 21, 21 plus 38. So that's not going to work out, is it? And the bars are in different positions. What happens if I hit generate world now? Will this bring up a completely different map? Here we have it. This is our 101% biome map. Everything is completely different. In fact, actually, this one compared to the first version of the map I made made, it actually looks like it might have 38% of the map being green. If you notice in the previous one, which again I'll put on the left hand of the screen there, it just didn't look like it had enough green zone compared to the others. So it's a very weird little generation system. But what have we got? We've got what looks like a nice few cities there. But again, the same kind of thing, just laid out differently, and the subtlety of just messing with these bars and getting something slightly different is going to make a massive impact to the Shekshimo Mountains that you produce. So the modelet that I've been using is Improved Random World Generation, and it's created by Mage Daddy. Perfect little thing that just edits the XML files and gives us results like you see on the screen here. You can download it from 7 Days to Die mods and also Nexus mods, and what I've done is I've taken it and edited it further in order to get bigger and greater cities. So let's try it out. Now this is what we're talking about. This is exactly the same thing, but this is why I use this mod. Absolutely brilliant. We not only have gone from 12 to 20 towns, but they are whoppingly huge, and thus they start to really fill up the map and it becomes awesome. Notice that the little outline now with the same original settings as we had in test 1 is exactly the same, but look at these things. It's amazing. And this is how you generate these maps full of big cities, which is absolutely fantastic. Now you can see that it takes a lot longer to draw all of the little POIs on this. Rows and rows of them, so it might be worth using this new preview quality option they have, so it doesn't have to draw these and it makes your life a little bit quicker. But what a map! That has got to be good fun to play there. It took a little longer. It took my PC 3 minutes and 13 seconds, so roughly another 30 odd seconds to make it. But for the time invested, that is something that I might really want to get stuck into, this map, rather than the puny little one that we got before with the default generation system. Now test 5 with my crazy version, as I'm going to call it, the crazy version of the same mod. I've edited it, so we're going to get a lot more cities. We're going to get a lot more density of actual city tiles and buildings, and we'll see what the outcome is in a magical moment. Well, here it is, my crazy version. Instead of 20, it has made 32 now. Different towns and cities. So they've actually started to merge into each other, and you can see they're pretty mega when it comes to a mega city. There we have it with all of the cities. Now you can see my version, my crazy version, has made it a little less linear up and down. We're still going to get a bit of that. Certainly is crazy. That's going to be another great map to play. All, of course, can be downloaded. The mods and this map can be downloaded on my Discord with the links below. The question is, how Shekshimo can we make Shekshimo Mountains? Well, our final test is number 6, and that is with another edited version of this mod that I'm going to call the insane version. We are going to try and max out as much as we can get this system to build cities, and then in a moment, once we see it, we'll also jump in game and have a good look. 4 minutes and 31 seconds later, and this is what we've produced. It's really interesting with the insane version that we end up getting these absolutely massive cities, but they're now a bit more spread out, and actually I think this is probably better for gameplay. This is what we're looking for, mega cities but with roads in between, so we've got a bit of travelling and things like that. And this Shekshimo Mountains is the one that I am going to jump into in a minute, and we're going to see what it's really like. It has a lot of cities in here, and it could take a while again to draw this, but I think it's going to be great fun on this 8K map. All of this stuff is downloadable. All the details are in the pinned message and in the description. All I ask is that you head over to the Discord after hitting that subscribe button and leaving a comment below. So let's load up the game world Shekshimo Mountains and see what it looks like. Oh, I can't believe it. That's what we need. A massive load of cities. Oh, so excited to play this. Where the heck am I? I've just spawned inside a tree in the snow zone. Okay, that's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F1. I'm going to type in DM and press enter. That's going to get me into debug mode. And I'm going to press Q and hold forward, shift and space. And I'm going to fly into the air so we can try and see what's going on. Now, of course, it is very foggy up here. So if I press F1 and then I type a weather fog 0, then it's going to turn all that off. This is an 8K map, so I can't draw the whole thing, but look at this. Let's just go over to the initial zone here, and we have a couple of absolutely crazy cities here. Look at how many tiles have been drawn. Look at all the POIs here. It is balmy. This one in particular, you could spend absolutely days in game, days in real life, trying to go through all of these POIs, and that is just the start of it. Look at this bad boy in the snow zone. That is going to be a serious challenge. And over in the wasteland, well, you've got enough action here for a lifetime. So let's take a closer look at the map. It's not the most perfect map. It's got this weird kind of deal in the middle here, isn't it, with this funny little road. So I guess if you use these mods and you generate something really cool, I'd love it if you could post screenshots of it or even share it in my Discord, and then we can all have loads of fun playing these maps. But I can show you right now, X marks the spot where all of the tier 5s are currently located. The tier 4s are all over the place. And all of this was inspired by Happy Turtle. Hello, Happy Turtle, who put a comment on a video, as I'd love you all to do, and asked about skyscrapers. Can we make megacities and can we have lots of skyscrapers? And that's the difficult bit, because I can force it to have the cities. I just can't say I want loads of these specific things. And here on this map, we have skyscraper 1, 2, and 4, but no skyscraper 3. So it's kind of like a bit hit and miss, and that's why you need to keep generating maps and of course keep sharing them with us. And finally, we have the traders. The only advantage of having skyscrapers in this final, or this one single city, if you look at it, if you are to play this map, then you've got a great double city as a starting point in the green zone. You can beef yourself up. You can nip into a little snowy town over here, and then you could end up in a big snowy city. You can nip over to the desert and have some fun, and then when you are absolutely the beast of 7 Days to Die, you can go for those final skyscrapers in this huge mega city in the wasteland. I challenge you to have some fun with this map. I certainly am going to do that myself too. Well, thank you for watching today. I hope this has been useful and you're going to enjoy the mods and the mega city map. Please click all the buttons that I need you to click. Leave a comment, and if you have any questions too, just throw them in there or on the Discord. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.